The war did not begin with a weapon. It began with a touch, when Princess Lyra of the Andromedan Empire secretly held the hand of a human soldier. On a dying moon, billions of eyes across the galaxy watched in horror, because humans were forbidden, weak, primitive, dangerous, and according to ancient alien prophecy, the man she loved was destined to destroy the stars. 3 hours later, the first planet burned, and the galaxy declared war on Earth. In the year 2489, humanity believed it had finally reached the stars. Massive cities floated above Earth while giant colonies covered Mars, Titan, and Europa. Humans built advanced machines, created artificial intelligence, and traveled farther into space than any generation before them. People believed they were becoming the most powerful civilization in existence. But everything changed the day a strange object entered the solar system. At first, scientists thought it was a dead moon drifting through space. Then the object suddenly stopped moving near Saturn. Every satellite around it instantly shut down. Entire military fleets lost control of their systems. Even Earth itself experienced global blackouts for several minutes. Fear spread across the planet. Then the object opened. Millions of people watched live broadcasts as enormous black metallic structures unfolded across space like giant wings. A fleet larger than entire human cities appeared from inside the darkness. The ships looked alive. Their surfaces moved like breathing creatures, and glowing blue energy flowed across them like veins. No human weapon could even scan them properly. That was humanity's first contact with the Celestian Dominion. The alien empire had ruled the galaxy for millions of years. Thousands of civilizations obeyed its laws. Entire star systems belonged to them. Their technology was so advanced it seemed like magic. To humans, Earth stood no chance against them. But the Dominion did not come to destroy humanity, at least not yet. Instead, they offered Earth a choice: submit peacefully and survive under Dominion supervision, or resist and disappear forever. Human leaders had no choice. Humanity surrendered within 48 hours. From that day forward, Earth was no longer free. Dominion ships surrounded the solar system permanently. Human space travel became heavily restricted. Every major government was secretly monitored by alien intelligence networks. Earth could continue existing only if humans obeyed Dominion law. Many humans hated them. Others worshipped them like gods. But no one truly understood the real reason the Dominion feared humanity, especially Princess Lyra, far beyond Earth deep. Within the glowing capital world of Illyria Prime, Princess Lyra stood alone, beside a giant crystal window overlooking the galaxy. Countless stars stretched endlessly before her, while massive alien warships moved silently through space around the royal palace. She looked calm on the outside, but inside she felt trapped. Lyra was the daughter of Emperor Vale, ruler of the Dominion. Across thousands of worlds, her name inspired both admiration and fear. Entire civilizations bowed before her image. Her people believed she would one day inherit the throne and continue the rule of the empire. But Lyra hated the life chosen for her. Every moment of her existence was controlled. Royal guards followed her everywhere. Her thoughts, emotions, and even dreams were monitored through advanced neural systems connected to the palace itself. Every royal relationship was genetically approved by the Imperial Council. Love was considered dangerous because emotions could weaken leadership. The Dominion valued logic over feeling, control over freedom, power over compassion. But Lyra was different. Since childhood, she had secretly become fascinated with humanity. At first, it started as curiosity. Humans were emotional, unpredictable, and chaotic. They fought wars over ideas, love, and beliefs. They sacrificed themselves for strangers. They created music filled with sadness and hope. They dreamed even when surrounded by suffering. To most alien civilizations, humans looked primitive. To Lyra, they looked alive. Late at night, she secretly accessed forbidden Earth transmissions, hidden deep inside ancient archives. She watched human films, listened to old songs, and studied stories from Earth history. She became obsessed with one thing the Dominion had lost long ago: emotion. One night she watched an old human movie about a father sacrificing himself to save his daughter. During a global disaster, the ending made Lyra cry for the first time. In her life, she hid the tears immediately. If the palace systems detected emotional instability, the Imperial Council would begin neural correction procedures. That was how the Dominion maintained order. Emotions were treated like diseases. Years passed, and Lyra continued secretly studying humanity. She learned dozens of human languages and memorized Earth history. But one person eventually captured her attention more than anyone else: Commander Elias Vale, a military pilot stationed on Titan base near Saturn. She first discovered him during a classified Dominion surveillance report. Pirates from an outlaw alien faction attacked a mining station near Jupiter and took hundreds of workers hostage. Human commanders prepared to abandon the station because survival chances were almost zero. But Elias ignored orders. He flew directly into enemy territory alone. The footage shocked Lyra. His fighter was heavily damaged and completely surrounded, yet he continued fighting to protect civilians trapped inside the station. He saved over 300 workers before barely escaping alive. The Dominion analysts called him reckless and irrational. Lyra could not stop watching the recording. There was something strange about him. He was not fearless. She could see fear clearly in his eyes during the battle, but he acted anyway. That confused her. Dominion warriors were trained to suppress fear completely. Humans fought despite fear, and somehow that made them stronger. Days later, another crisis erupted near the edge of Dominion territory. A massive explosion destroyed an alien mining colony, causing thousands of deaths. Evidence falsely pointed toward human involvement. Dominion fleets immediately surrounded the human colonies near Saturn. Tension exploded across the solar system. Many believed war was about to begin. To prevent disaster, Earth sent a diplomatic delegation to negotiate with the Dominion commanders. Elias was chosen as military representative because of his experience near the outer colonies. Lyra watched the meeting secretly from the Imperial Observation Chamber. The enormous alien council hall towered above the human delegates like a cathedral built for gods. Dominion commanders stood motionless in silver armor, while giant holographic stars rotated above the chamber floor. Most humans looked terrified, except Elias. He stood calmly at the center of the hall, facing beings capable of erasing Earth within hours. One Dominion commander threatened humanity openly and demanded immediate punishment for the attack. Several human officials lowered their heads in fear. Elias did not. He looked directly into the glowing eyes of the alien commander and spoke without hesitation. Humanity did not attack your colony. If you want peace, then investigate the truth. But if you want fear, then destroy us now, because humans are tired of kneeling. The entire chamber fell silent. Even the Dominion commander seemed surprised. No human had ever spoken to them that way before. And in that moment, Princess Lyra felt something awaken deep inside her heart. Not curiosity, not fascination, something far more dangerous. For the first time in her carefully controlled existence, the future heir of the most powerful empire in the galaxy truly felt alive. And she had no idea that a single moment would eventually ignite a war capable of destroying entire galaxies. After the meeting near Saturn, Commander Elias Vale could not stop thinking about the strange woman standing behind the Dominion Council. She never spoke during the negotiation, yet her glowing silver eyes remained fixed on him the entire time. Unlike the other alien leaders, she showed no hatred toward humanity. There was something different about her, something calm and mysterious hidden beneath the cold atmosphere of the chamber. Elias tried asking other officials about her identity, but nobody knew much. Most humans were never allowed near Dominion royalty. Rumors described the imperial family as beings almost beyond human understanding. Some believed they could read minds, while others claimed they controlled gravity itself. But Elias remembered the way she looked at him, not like an enemy, like someone searching for answers. Several nights later, Elias received a strange transmission while repairing his damaged fighter. Inside Titan base, the signal bypassed every military firewall without triggering alarms. That alone was impossible. Human systems were heavily protected against Dominion technology. A soft voice suddenly echoed through the dark hangar. "You should not trust the Dominion commander, Elias Vale." Elias instantly reached for his weapon and scanned the room. Nobody was there. Then a holographic figure slowly appeared near his ship. It was her, Princess Lyra. The glowing blue image flickered softly as she stepped forward. Her silver eyes reflected the lights in the hangar, while strange alien symbols moved across her skin, like living energy. Elias stared in shock. "You are risking a war by contacting me," he said quietly. A small smile appeared on her face. "Perhaps the war already started long ago." Before Elias could respond, the transmission suddenly weakened. Lyra looked over her shoulder nervously. "I cannot stay connected for long. Your leaders are being deceived. The mining colony explosion was not caused by humanity." "Then who caused it?" Elias asked. Lyra hesitated for several seconds. "Someone inside the Dominion." The signal immediately cut out. Elias stood frozen beside his fighter while thousands of questions raced through his mind. Why would a Dominion princess secretly warn a human soldier? And if she was telling the truth, then someone powerful inside the Empire wanted conflict with Earth. Over the following weeks, the mysterious transmissions continued, always at random times, always through impossible channels no human technology could trace. Sometimes Lyra appeared beside him as a hologram. Other times she transmitted only her voice through hidden frequencies buried inside military systems. Slowly their conversations became longer. At first they discussed politics and the growing tension between Earth and the Dominion. Then they began speaking about themselves. Elias told her stories about growing up on Earth during the climate wars. He described crowded cities, endless poverty, and how humanity survived decades of disaster. Before finally reaching space, Lyra listened carefully to every word. She admitted that she envied humans. That surprised Elias. Why would someone with unlimited power envy humanity? Because you still feel everything, she answered softly. Fear, love, hope, pain. The Dominion erased those emotions long ago. One night Lyra secretly connected Elias to a forbidden archive hidden beneath the Imperial Palace. Ancient recordings revealed horrifying truths about the Dominion. Entire civilizations had disappeared after resisting Imperial rule. Some planets were forced into obedience through orbital destruction. Others vanished without explanation. The peaceful empire shown to the galaxy was built on fear. Elias finally understood why Lyra sounded so lonely every time they spoke. She was trapped inside a perfect prison. As trust between them grew, Lyra began taking greater risks. Using advanced cloaking technology, she secretly traveled beyond Dominion territory and met Elias in person for the first time on an abandoned moon orbiting Neptune. Frozen storms covered the empty landscape, while shattered alien ruins stretched across the horizon. Beneath dark skies, Elias arrived alone. His heart pounded as a silver ship descended silently through the snow. The entrance opened slowly. Then Princess Lyra stepped onto the ice. For a moment neither of them spoke. Without the holographic transmission between them, she looked even more unreal. Her glowing skin reflected the pale moonlight, while invisible energy shimmered softly round her body. Elias expected fear. Instead, he felt calm. Lyra walked closer, carefully studying his face. Humans look different in reality, she whispered. Better or worse, Elias asked. A faint smile appeared again, more alive. They spent hours exploring the ancient ruins together. Lyra explained that the structures were older than the Dominion itself. Nobody knew who built them because the original civilization disappeared millions of years earlier. Strange symbols covered the walls everywhere. One symbol appeared more than the others, a broken star. Elias noticed Lyra staring at it repeatedly. You recognize this symbol, don't you? He asked. Her expression changed instantly. Only from forbidden stories. What stories? Lyra hesitated before answering. Stories about the end of the galaxy? That answer haunted Elias long after they left the ruins. Their secret meetings continued across distant worlds hidden far from Dominion surveillance. They walked through glowing forests beneath giant alien moons. They explored dead cities floating near black holes. They stood together inside ancient temples buried beneath oceans on forgotten planets. And with every meeting their connection grew stronger. Elias realized he no longer cared about the danger. He was falling in love with her, but deep inside Lyra, fear continued growing. She knew what would happen if the Imperial Council discovered the truth. Humans were forbidden from forming personal relationships with royal bloodlines. The punishment for such betrayal was death. Still, she could not stay away from him. One evening they met on the desert world of Nerith, where giant stone ruins stretched endlessly across red sands beneath twin suns. Violent storms moved across the horizon while massive skeletons of unknown creatures rested half buried beneath the dunes. Lyra seemed nervous the entire time. Something is wrong, Elias said quietly. She looked toward the darkening sky. I feel like we are being watched. As they explored deeper into the ruins, Elias discovered a strange metallic structure hidden beneath the sand. It looked ancient yet strangely advanced at the same time. A broken star symbol glowed faintly on its surface. The moment Elias touched it, the entire ruin awakened. Massive vibrations shook the ground. Blue energy erupted through the walls, while giant machines hidden beneath the desert activated after thousands of years of silence. Lyra stepped back in shock. Impossible, she whispered. A huge holographic projection suddenly filled the ruins. Alien voices echoed through the darkness. Then the image appeared. Humans, not modern humans. Ancient humans commanding enormous warships across entire galaxies. Elias stared in disbelief as giant fleets destroyed planets and battled against unknown alien armies. The humans in the recording possessed technology far beyond anything Earth had ever created. Then the hologram focused directly on Elias. Warning. Signals exploded across the ruins. Ancient systems scanned his genetic structure instantly. Access confirmed. Final descendant detected. Lyra froze. The machine slowly rotated toward her next. Royal bloodline identified. Then a final message echoed across the ruins with terrifying force. The Starbreaker has returned. Suddenly the entire structure began transmitting a powerful signal directly into space. Lyra turned pale. No, no, no. What is happening? Elias shouted. Her voice trembled for the first time. The Dominion will detect this signal. We need to leave now. Far above the desert clouds, enormous shadows suddenly appeared. Dominion warships. And somewhere deep inside the Imperial Palace, Emperor Vale finally discovered the truth. His daughter had tried so desperately to hide. The moment the signal erupted from the ancient ruins on Nerith, everything changed. Massive Dominion warships descended through the red storm clouds, like dark gods arriving for judgment. Their giant engines shook the desert while glowing energy spread across the sky. The ground beneath Elias and Lyra trembled violently as thousands of alien soldiers prepared to surround the ruins. Lyra grabbed Elias by the arm. We have to leave now. Before he could respond, the ancient structure behind them activated again. Strange blue energy wrapped around Elias for several seconds. Pain exploded through his body as fragments of unknown memories flashed inside his mind. He saw giant human fleets burning across galaxies. He saw planets collapsing beneath black energy storms. And he saw himself standing beside a throne made from stars, while entire civilizations screamed in fear. Then the visions vanished. Elias dropped to one knee, struggling to breathe. Lyra looked terrified. What did you see? She asked. I don't know, but before they could escape, giant beams of light suddenly surrounded the ruins. Dominion soldiers teleported onto the surface in perfect formation. Their silver armor glowed beneath the storm, while advanced weapons locked onto Elias instantly. At the center of the army stood a tall figure, wearing black royal armor, Emperor Vale. The ruler of the Dominion looked even more terrifying in person than in the holograms. His eyes glowed like dying suns, and dark energy moved slowly beneath his skin like living shadows. Every soldier lowered their heads the moment he arrived, except Lyra. Father, please listen to me, she said desperately. Vale's cold eyes moved toward Elias. So this is the human. Elias stood protectively beside Lyra, despite the army surrounding them. Vale stared at him silently for several seconds. Then something unexpected happened. Fear appeared in the Emperor's eyes. Very small, but real. The ancient machine has awakened because of him, Vale whispered. After all these years, Lyra stepped forward. He is not dangerous. You know nothing about what he is, Vale replied. Suddenly the Emperor raised his hand. Every Dominion weapon aimed directly at Elias. Execute him immediately. Lyra instantly moved. In front of Elias. No. The entire army froze in shock. No royal had ever openly disobeyed the Emperor before. Vale's voice became colder. Move aside, Lyra. I will not. For several painful seconds, silence filled the ruins, while red storms roared across the desert. Around them, then Vale finally spoke. Again. You have betrayed your bloodline for a human. Lyra looked directly into his eyes. Maybe our bloodline deserves betrayal. The Emperor slowly closed his eyes. When he opened them again, all emotion was gone. Seized the princess, chaos exploded. Instantly, Dominion soldiers rushed forward, but Lyra unleashed a powerful wave of energy that shattered the ground around them. Elias grabbed a fallen weapon while explosions erupted across the ruins. Then something impossible happened. The ancient machine behind Elias suddenly activated again and released a massive pulse through the desert. Every Dominion weapon shut down. Every ship above the planet lost power for several seconds. Even Vale looked shocked. Elias felt strange energy flowing through his body. The ancient visions returned stronger this time. He could suddenly understand the alien systems around him. Without touching them, instinctively he reached toward a damaged Dominion fighter near the ruins. The ship activated immediately. Lyra stared at him in disbelief. Elias, we need to go. They escaped through the collapsing storms, while Dominion fleets desperately tried to regain control of their systems. Behind them, Emperor Vale stood motionless, inside the ruins, watching the human disappear into the darkness. And for the first time in centuries, the ruler of the Dominion felt genuine terror. Hours later, secret emergency signals spread across the Empire. The Starbreaker had returned. Most civilizations believed the Starbreaker was only a myth. An ancient nightmare from forgotten history. But deep inside classified Dominion archives, the truth still existed. Thousands of years earlier, humanity had once ruled enormous sections of the galaxy. They created technology capable of controlling dark energy itself. Human scientists discovered forces so powerful they could bend reality and destroy entire star systems instantly. At first they used the technology to protect civilization. Then came war. The conflict nearly erased all life across the galaxy. Entire stars collapsed. Billions died. Within days, in the end, the Dominion united against humanity and destroyed almost all traces of their existence. Earth was reduced to an isolated primitive world. Human history was erased, and the survivors became legends. But according to ancient prophecy, one final descendant would eventually return, the Starbreaker. Meanwhile, Elias and Lyra hid inside abandoned sectors far beyond Dominion space. They traveled through dangerous asteroid fields and ruined systems forgotten by the Empire. Everywhere they went, Dominion patrols searched for them. Their faces appeared across every major network in the galaxy: traitors, terrorists, threats to galactic stability. But Lyra knew the truth. The Dominion was terrified because the prophecy was becoming real. During their escape, Elias began changing. At first, the symptoms were small. He could repair advanced alien technology without training. He sensed danger seconds before attacks happened. Sometimes machines activated automatically when he walked near them. Then the nightmares started. Every night, Elias saw burning worlds and giant black storms swallowing stars. He heard voices whispering in unknown languages inside his mind. And each time he woke up, the strange energy inside him felt stronger. One evening, while hiding inside an abandoned station near the edge of deep space, Elias accidentally stopped an entire Dominion attack fleet without touching a single control system. Dozens of enemy ships suddenly froze mid-battle, their weapons shut down completely. The rebel pilots fighting beside Elias watched in horror. Even Lyra looked shaken. "You are becoming stronger too quickly," she whispered. Elias stared at his hands. "I can't control it." Soon rumors about Elias spread across the galaxy. Some believed he was humanity's savior. Others called him a living weapon capable of destroying civilizations. Small rebel factions began secretly joining them, alien species oppressed by the Dominion. Finally saw hope for freedom. Human resistance groups united behind Elias almost overnight. Hidden colonies offered supplies and protection. Within months, a rebellion formed across multiple star systems. The Galactic War had begun. Massive battles erupted everywhere. Dominion warships attacked rebel worlds with devastating force while resistance fleets launched desperate counterattacks. Through hyperspace routes, entire planets became battlefields. Near Jupiter, thousands of human fighters battled biomechanical alien cruisers. Inside electric storms, above Orion Prime, giant artificial moons crashed into each other while cities burned beneath them. Our frozen world soldiers fought across endless glaciers lit by orbital fire. The galaxy descended into chaos. And in the middle of every battle stood Elias Vale. The more war spread, the more powerful he became. That terrified Lyra more than anything. One night after a brutal battle, she found Elias standing alone inside a destroyed command room, staring silently at dead enemy soldiers floating outside the shattered windows. His eyes glowed faintly black. "You scared them today," Lyra said quietly. Elias did not respond immediately. "I scared myself." He finally turned toward her. "During the battle, I heard voices again. They wanted me to destroy everything." Lyra slowly approached him. "You can fight it. Can I?" His voice sounded colder than before. "What if this is who I really am?" Before Lyra could answer, emergency alarms suddenly echoed through the station. A rebel commander rushed into the room, looking terrified. "Dominion fleets are moving toward Earth." "How many?" Elias asked. The commander swallowed nervously. "All of them, far across the galaxy." Emperor Vale finally made his decision. If humanity could not be controlled, then Earth would burn. Within hours, the largest Dominion fleet in history surrounded the solar system. Giant warships covered the skies above Earth, while billions of civilians watched in fear from below. Then the attack began. Orbital weapons rained destruction across entire continents. Cities vanished beneath firestorms. Oceans exploded into steam. Satellites crashed from orbit, while giant energy beams tore through the atmosphere. The sky itself turned red. Elias watched everything live through emergency transmissions while standing beside Lyra aboard a stolen Dominion cruiser. People screamed across every channel. Entire human colonies disappeared within minutes. Billions died. Something inside Elias finally broke. The dark energy hidden within his blood awakened completely. Every screen around him shattered instantly. Lights exploded across the ship, and for one terrifying moment every machine aboard the cruiser obeyed only him. Lyra stepped back in fear as black energy slowly moved across Elias' eyes. The Starbreaker was no longer sleeping, and somewhere, deep beneath the Imperial Palace, the ancient force known as the Heart of Silence began to awaken too. The galaxy was dying. After the destruction of Earth, the war spread faster than anyone imagined. Entire civilizations turned against each other. Rebel fleets attacked Dominion strongholds, while Imperial armies erased entire worlds suspected of helping humans. Every hyperspace route became a battlefield. Giant wrecks of destroyed warships drifted endlessly through space like graveyards between stars. And at the center of the chaos stood Elias Vale. To the rebellion, he was becoming a symbol of hope. To the Dominion, he was becoming a nightmare. But deep inside himself, Elias felt something far worse growing every day. The dark energy connected to the Starbreaker bloodline was consuming him slowly. During battles, he no longer felt fear or hesitation. Enemy fleets vanished beneath his attacks before pilots even realized they were under assault. Entire warships shut down when he looked at them. Sometimes soldiers surrendered immediately after seeing his glowing black eyes. The power felt endless, and that terrified him. Only Lyra still believed the real Elias remained somewhere beneath the darkness. One night aboard the rebel flagship, Lyra found him standing alone, inside the observation chamber staring at distant stars. Thousands of ships moved around them preparing for the final assault against the Dominion capital world. Elias looked exhausted. His face had become colder since the fall of Earth. The pain inside him never truly disappeared. "You should rest," Lyra whispered. Elias shook his head slowly. "Every time I close my eyes, I hear them screaming." Lyra walked beside him. "This war will end soon." "No," Elias replied quietly. "This war is exactly what they want." Lyra looked at him carefully. "Who?" Elias finally turned toward her. "The thing beneath the throne." For weeks, Elias had secretly studied ancient Dominion archives stolen during rebel attacks. Hidden inside forbidden records, he discovered the horrifying truth behind the Empire. The Heart of Silence was not technology. It was an ancient cosmic entity older than civilization itself. Millions of years earlier, the first rulers of the Dominion discovered the entity trapped beneath a dying star. It fed on violence, fear, and hatred. In exchange for worship, it granted impossible power. The Dominion never controlled it. They served it. Every war across galactic history had secretly strengthened the creature. And now, after centuries of bloodshed, the entity was finally awakening completely. That was why Emperor Vale feared the Starbreaker. Humanity had once nearly destroyed the Heart of Silence long ago. Elias was the final descendant of those ancient warriors. But there was another secret hidden deep inside the archives, one that Lyra had not revealed yet. The Imperial bloodline itself existed for only one reason: to imprison the entity forever. Generations of royal children were connected to the Heart of Silence through painful psychic rituals from birth. Their minds acted as living chains, keeping the creature asleep beneath the throne world. Every emperor slowly lost their humanity over time, and now Vale was almost gone completely. 3 days later, the final battle began above the ruined world of Etherian. The dead planet floated beside shattered rings and burning debris left behind by centuries of forgotten wars. Massive storms covered its surface while broken moons drifted nearby. Every surviving fleet in the galaxy arrived there. Human rebels, Dominion warships, machine civilizations, mercenary clans, alien kingdoms. The sky itself disappeared beneath endless armies. Millions of ships prepared for war. Then the Heart of Silence awakened fully. A giant black storm erupted above Etherian, swallowing entire fleets instantly. Strange whispers spread through every communication channel, while dark energy consumed nearby stars. Ships began firing wildly at each other in panic. Reality itself started breaking apart. At the center of the storm stood Emperor Vale aboard a giant throne ship larger than cities, but he no longer looked alive. Darkness covered most of his body, and glowing cracks spread across his skin like burning wounds. His voice echoed unnaturally across space itself. "Bring me the Starbreaker." The final assault began immediately. Rebel fleets charged into the storm, while Dominion defenses unleashed devastating attacks. Giant ships exploded like dying suns. Entire armies vanished inside collapsing gravity fields. The battle became the largest war in galactic history. Elias led the attack directly toward Vale's throne ship. Every enemy vessel that approached him lost power instantly. Black energy moved around his body, while ancient Starbreaker abilities awakened completely inside him. But the closer he came to the heart of silence, the louder the whispers became. Destroy them, burn the galaxy, and everything. For one terrifying moment, Elias almost surrendered to it. Then Lyra reached for his hand. Her touch pulled him back. Together they boarded the throne ship during the middle of the battle. Dead soldiers covered the halls, while dark energy spread across the walls like living shadows. Strange voices whispered through the corridors. At the center of the ship they finally reached the throne chamber. The heart of silence floated behind Vale like a giant living void. It had no true form, only darkness twisting endlessly around itself while thousands of faces screamed inside it. Elias immediately understood the truth. The entity wanted him to become its new host. Vale slowly stood from the throne. "You cannot stop it," he said. "The galaxy belongs to fear. It always will." Lyra stepped forward. "No, father. You only forgot what life feels like." Vale's expression twisted painfully for a moment as if some small part of him still remained inside the darkness. Then the entity consumed him completely. The Emperor attacked with terrifying force. Dark energy exploded through the chamber, destroying entire walls instantly. Elias barely blocked the attack using his own powers. The battle shook the throne ship while giant cracks spread across reality outside. Elias and Vale fought like gods surrounded by collapsing stars. But during the fight, Elias realized something horrifying. The more power he used, the stronger the heart of silence became. The entity was feeding on both of them. Then Lyra finally revealed the secret she had hidden from Elias all along. "There is only one way to stop it," she whispered. Elias looked at her in horror. No. Tears filled her glowing eyes for the first time. "My bloodline was created to contain the heart. If I merge with it willingly, I can destroy it from inside." "You will die," Elias said. Lyra stepped closer, touching his face gently. "Maybe. But if we do nothing, the galaxy dies with us." Outside the throne chamber, entire stars were collapsing. Space itself fractured across the battlefield, while fleets desperately tried to escape the spreading darkness. Time was running out. Elias grabbed her hand desperately. "We will find another way." Lyra smiled sadly. "You taught me something humans understand better than anyone else. Love means sacrifice." Before Elias could stop her, Lyra kissed him one final time. Then she walked directly toward the heart of silence. The entity screamed across reality itself as she entered the darkness. Giant shockwaves exploded across the galaxy. Every ship instantly lost power, every weapon shut down. For one impossible moment, complete silence filled the universe. Then the heart began dying. But the destruction triggered a chain reaction. Nearby stars started collapsing uncontrollably. Entire systems faced annihilation within minutes. Elias realized billions would still die unless someone redirected the energy away from inhabited worlds. Only the Starbreaker could do it. Using the full power inside his blood, Elias connected himself to every remaining fleet in existence. Human minds, alien minds, machine intelligence. For one brief moment, the entire galaxy became one consciousness. Enemies and allies felt each other's fear, pain, and hope together. And for the first time in history, the galaxy stood united. Together they redirected the collapsing energy into the empty void. Beyond known space, a massive explosion consumed Ethereum. Then darkness. Months later, the war finally ended. The Dominion collapsed completely. Surviving worlds began rebuilding together. Humans were no longer feared or controlled. Ancient secrets were finally revealed across the galaxy. Peace slowly returned. But Elias never recovered from losing Lyra. Every night, he traveled alone to the edge of the Andromeda Gate, where the heart of silence died. Waiting, hoping. Because before disappearing inside the darkness, Lyra whispered 5 final words into his mind. "Love is stronger than stars." And far beyond the edge of the known universe, inside a newborn galaxy, a silver-eyed woman suddenly opened her eyes once again.